wants to work for somebody that just
stay, man.
hammers you and micromanages you and doesn't give you any freedom to use your own head.
Yep.
And give someone just the bandwidth to say, go.
The door's open, right? It's not like I need this fixed and this is the way you're going to do it. Is you're open to that creativity and letting people, letting people bring their ideas to table, and that ultimately can make you better, make the company better.
So I gave the graduating speech when I graduated pharmacy school.
Okay.
Boston Garden, a lot of 10,000 people. I was just like, that is don't sleep at night stuff.
Welcome back to Two Caring Gents with today's guest, Mike Agostino.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
As usual, Chris and I here to
Love
have
it.
rich conversation.
Thank you.
Really special guests.
I'll never forget number 12.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 12.
So number 12.
Yeah.
You've been an amazing friend to both of us. I know, and
Likewise.
I think you too. You've been a mentor to both of us, both
Thank you.
professionally and personally, Mike. One that, as busy as you are, both with family and with work, you always pick up the phone, man. And we've talked a lot about that. Last episode, we talked a lot about fellowship. And you're somebody, if you're struggling, that you are somebody that people can always call you.
But thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Right back at you guys. I mean, you both have inspired me. I'm not kidding you. I mean, it's just you with your balance of family and the bazillion eateries that you co-own and own. And I don't know how you do it with soccer. And there's a lot. There's a lot. So you're the Energizer Bunny of Omaha, and I mean that respectfully. It's you juggle a lot, but you always do it in a very positive way.
Yeah,
I've never seen you angry, actually. That's a separate, I guess.
That's
podcast.
a separate episode,
Yeah.
and I guess that's good because Jacqueline and the girls definitely have.
Well,
so that's
you don't have to divulge. It's okay.
No,
So-
that's what this show is about.
Yeah.
It's all about humility. Speaking of humility, not having the microphone in front of your face when you're starting the show, losing content. That's what we do here.
Keeps you humble.
Bird poop on the hands.
Yeah.
All of it.
Why don't you two? How'd you guys meet?
Man.
I have my version.
You go first.
Yeah. My recollection was Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I was at the time, I don't know if I was chairing the board or part of the board.
You're part of the board.
I might have been part of the board.
You weren't quite chair yet.
Yeah, I did. I think I had a total of 14 plus years with Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and there's a real, at least from my perspective, there's a lot of reasons why I did it. But I do remember we were in the med center and the brand new, I think, it was Susan.
Yeah, the Buffett.
Buffett Center.
Family
Thank you.
Tower,
And
yeah.
the nice conference room, and you had just been through a battle from hell, and you had the strength to get up in front of quite a few folks actually, and just tell your story. And I was like, whoa, really? I was just blown away.
What year is this? Because you just beat.
Yeah, because I went right into LLS once I got my 100-day scan.
Cool.
So as soon as I got my 100-day scan, I called Bierman. I was like, hey, how can I get involved with LLS? And he's like, oh, yeah, here's a contact.
If you don't mind, do you remember which year? I'm trying to think.
It was 2018.
18. Okay.
2018, yeah.
Wow.
So then I saw. Okay, so you guys meet there, and then that's where I see at your house, right, the LLS event that you hosted.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you for the first time. So carry on. So you guys
That was
you
it.
meet at Med Center.
That was it.
Yeah.
And I found Nick to be inspiring and everything you just, you want to be. And, there's no reason ever, from my perspective, to ever throw down a complaint or to be miserable and just to look up to somebody who has the courage and strength to do what he did. And then, of course, to meet Rachel, his wife, and then, just the whole package was just awesome. And then when we just chatted and shook hands, it was this affinity for vehicles. Right? So there's an immediate connection there, and then the rest was history. That was it. So that's my recollection.
Yeah. No, I remember because we were at Peter Fink's old location collection spot off Center Street.
That's right.
We were there,
And
I've again not even a year into remission yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like 6 months into remission, and I remember being there and seeing the cars and just remember calling my mom I was outside. I haven't even walked in yet, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?
Right.
What I'm about to see? I'm listing off the cars." Then I called Rachel. I'm like, "I can't believe what I'm about to walk into. I had no idea." And then, I'm sitting with you. We're right next to one of the cars, and I was like, God, these are beautiful. And then you tell me what you have, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in the Europeans as well. And, then it just grew into a snowball effect of,
That's it.
hey, why don't we do a car event, benefit in LLS, like a Concourse d'Elegance? Did that, huge success, did that 2 years in a row. And it was just, and it led into Cars and Cures, and now your son's involved. I mean, like, it's just been
It's been awesome.
a beautiful journey.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So, I mean, that was it. Yeah.
That's how it all started. The affinity for cars and the love for cars, like, where does that start? Because I'm not. I drive a 2000 Expedition, and I see a cool car. I'm like, that's neat. But like, get into like your guys. I mean, you've had some really cool stuff. But even outside of what you two own, like, where did the car love start at?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's South Omaha. I mean, South Omaha has a rich car culture. I mean, from lowriders. For me, it started with lowriders.
Nice.
Like the Impalas and stuff.
You had a
like that.
South O hat on today too.
No. It's
What is that?
S skateboarding. So it's like shoes.
Okay. I
It's
thought it was the S.
Like,
I
if
thought
you
it was
know,
the
you
Packer.
know. No, it's if you know, you know.
He knows now.
Yeah,
See?
now he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is,
Partially. Yeah, and I'm obviously not in. He's like, that's a skateboard thing. Yeah, I know.
No, you're good.
I got
No, I mean, South O, like, car culture is rich. It's it started off with my sister's boyfriend bringing car mags, and it was like lowrider magazines from California. So I got that exposure of early, because my dad wasn't into cars. Other than that's a cool car. That's neat. Kind of similar to you. Like,
Yeah.
He wasn't like, hey, what about cars? But it just like triggered me. I was like, I want to know more. And then it led into imports, and then it led into Europeans, and it just kind of evolved. And it's just a love for all cars, overland vehicles, everything. And then my dad just took me to car shows. Like, he took me to the manufacturer one down at the Civic Center back in the day, and it just kind of evolved. And World of Wheels. So yeah, that's where it really grew for me. But then what I realized is the bond. There's such a common ground.
That's what-
I mean, the people you meet and the backgrounds you get, the stories you get to hear. It's such a like introduction into opening people up, and just that common ground of community for me. It's as you've seen,
Yeah.
it's gotten me through so much.
A lot. And
I-
I've witnessed it, which has been beautiful.
I would
right?
struggle,
Yeah.
you see me this time last year,
100%.
struggling
Yeah.
to get out of my car, but
Yes.
it meant so much to me with Julia and you guys there, and as embarrassing as it is to struggle to get out of your car and just to simply do something that people around you just get out of the car and walk around and get back in the car and leave. For me, it was a 20-minute ordeal, but it was that important to me because of the people, the support. It's remarkable. But I will go back to this. When I remember we were at Amber Pharmacy and I spoke there, and Jack McKeegan, and you were off with Ryan Miller, Mike Quinn, and you guys were up like right where you had a little koi pond, right there. So you were off to the left, and I just come down the stairs with Jack, and Jack goes, see that guy over there? And I'm gonna cuss. That guy gets shit done. And for me, coming out of what I just came out of, I was so just that approach to simply putting who someone is about in so few words, and I felt it, and I wanted to know more. And every time I've asked you a question or guidance or just anything, you're always like, that's a piece of cake. I'll tell you what, we can do it this way. And you always have guidance. And anytime I've talked to you, it's remarkable. And it's been like a guiding light as I've moved forward in trying to find and recreate who I am and find my place in the world.
Well, I appreciate
you make
that.
it seem so easy, and it because it's all a mindset. It's your approach, your leadership. You don't lead from the front. I felt you right behind me every time when it was in the hospital and I was struggling. You're just pushing. I mean, you're one of the key reasons. When people ask like, how do you get through what you get through? How do you put the effort every day? And you're one of the people
I appreciate
that I think
that.
about. That's like, well, this individual gives it his best every day, and he's given his best to me. So who would I be to not give it my best?
Wow.
So I have to give it up, right?
That's powerful.
Rachel gives it her best.
All right, appreciate
Chris,
that.
so
Yeah,
many
we all
people,
do. I
right?
think we all suffer from the same thing, right? no medication for it. It is what it is. It's, you know, I think it's two things. I think it's DNA and behavioral. It's you know, the fabric of who you are and how you were raised. I mean, I think it's a combo of both.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I've always taken a lot of pride in taking that approach. I really have. And I didn't know it was something that I would like hone in on later in life, but I was blessed. I mean, just like you guys talked about, very kind words about me. I mean, I had mentors in my life too that, you know, I think if you have one in your life, you have a gift. I mean, there's people that have a journey that never have that experience and never have that guiding light of someone just, you know, sharing with you what they did wrong and you learned from it as opposed to making that mistake.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've always taken a lot of pride in that. And frankly, that's and all the companies that I've built and run, and that's been probably the fun part. You know, there's a lot of frustrating parts to that, but the people part, like, you know, I've been in my industry now for, this is, you know, 3 years. It's been a journey, right? So it's fun to bump into people that say, I got to tell you a story. And the story is something impactful that I didn't even realize I did.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I had no idea. And then to be told that, I was like, whoa. And it's actually fun because it's like, I actually say thank you for sharing that. Otherwise, I would never have known, right? So, but no, I do appreciate the kind words, Nick. And it's a two-way street, man. It's not one way. And it's just been the fabric of who I am. I'll end it with this. It's a curse and a blessing at the same time. It just is, right? The blessing part is you get to be in an environment where you encourage people to just give it their best and not feel like, you know, if they made a mistake, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And just learn from it. And then, you know, maybe the cursed part is you're constantly pushing for that, right? It's like you don't stop. It's like I talked to Christina and my wife, and I'm like, this is the last company. She goes, you sure? You sure? I go, yes, it is. I promise. So anyway, I'm sort of ranting here a little bit, but I appreciate you sharing that.
It's this is the place to do it, man. It's a free flowing. And in all my time knowing you too, in all of your achievements, and I definitely want you to talk about just your journey professionally, but we've mentioned this a lot, that there's a lot of folks out there that are searching for something, and what they think they're searching for is the business and the monetary and the things. And of all the years that I've known you, you have to dig it out of you where your professional successes come from. But the thing that you always talk about first are the cool humanistic things, whether it's with your kids or with Christina or, you know, your community. And I think that's so important for people that we've asked to reach out to us, or if you're really having trouble staying in a positive place, you're probably after the wrong thing. Actually know you're after the wrong thing. And you're a really great example of that, Mike. Like you have led and created and you know, built and sold so many companies, and then you've done so many special things with that. From a humanistic standpoint, a philanthropic standpoint. But I think it's so important. Like when I know you as a person, you don't talk about your businesses and Amber Pharmaceuticals and all that. You don't talk about that. It is those people, you know, crazy as that is one person coming up to him and saying, you know, in 19 whatever, right, you did this and you have completely lost it, but you changed the trajectory of a human being's path. And
Yeah, you don't realize at the time. It's true. It's I mean to cut you off, but you're absolutely right. It's like
no.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the fun part about what we do. But you know, I don't know. It's a little bit of. I really challenged myself to constantly just step out of my comfort zone.
How so?
Okay, I'll start with what's a great example. So I gave the graduating speech when I graduated pharmacy school.
Okay.
Boston Garden, you know, a lot of 10,000 people. I was just like, you know, that is don't sleep at night stuff, right? And, but I just said to myself, when are you going to get this opportunity again?
Whoa.
You know, so I did it.
That's so true.
And it was, I loved it. It was great. But, you know, it's sheer, absolute panic. A millisecond before the microphone's even close to your face, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But you just start talking and then you're fine. You're fine. Nobody's going to hurt you. It's all good. Give your talk. So that's an example of stepping out of comfort zone. And I so many different examples that are work related. And yeah,
That's a building block, right?
it's massive.
Once you
have
do
to.
once you do that one time, you did that. I mean, I bet the first time you got up and to talk in front of somebody,
Yeah.
pretty nervous. You know, like
Oh yeah.
even since this journey has kind of started, I remember, you know, sitting in front of people and you saying we're going to do this podcast and NHF and all this stuff. But dude, that was, I mean,
You have to.
do it once. And also
Yeah.
don't be afraid what you like, and to your point, you think you're going to make an idiot out of yourself and you don't realize that most of the room sitting out there is like, holy crap, this person got up and did that.
Yeah.
But you do it once,
Do it.
and now you created that building block.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can create change if you don't step out of your comfort zone. You just have to, because otherwise everything is just status quo.
yeah,
And I think we're human beings who like to grow, and change is part of growth, and I guess it's all related, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
did I learn that in a textbook? No, but I forced myself to do it. I still force myself to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that has never changed.
Yeah.
Even, going close to 58 here, it's the same thing. It
Yeah.
hasn't changed. But pretty much all the different companies that I've done on my own or I've done with Christina, it's 100% stepping out of the comfort zone. It just was. But
Whether that's personal or professional,
100%,
right?
yeah.
You know, and that's there's so much content out there right now that is
Yeah.
we are here, like someone who's trying to improve you as a friend. I am going to, and whether you say it outwardly or not, I am going to make you uncomfortable, right? That box that you just created, if we take ourselves out of our comfort zone, and it doesn't feel good at the time, but then if you do it and you're not afraid of making a mistake, then progress happens. Even if you don't succeed with that venture personally or professionally. That might be with dating, right? We think of people that are looking for a companion and it's just, well, I'm not going to do that because of whatever. Guess what the outcome is in 6 months? You're still alone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or in business or anything else.
Yeah.
Where did go professionally for a little bit? Like what do you do? Go through all that stuff.
Well, background pharmacist. As I just said earlier, graduated school at Northeastern University, BS in pharmacy, right downtown Boston.
Husky? No.
Yeah, Husker. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it right.
You got it. You
I
did.
got it
Yeah.
right.
Good job.
They play the Red
Good job.
Sox every year.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that pitched there and
Good
played
job.
the Red Sox at Fenway. Sorry.
Don't be perfectly fine. Fast forward, moved, got my pharmacist license, went to Connecticut, practiced as a pharmacist for about a year. I didn't like it.
What part wasn't for you?
At the time, it was a very workflow centric job. You're standing for 14 hours straight, no break. Not a lot of interaction with patients. It's a mill, and I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't learning
I can't
anything.
imagine why.
I don't
you
like
see
it.
Mike Agostino standing one spot, not talking to anybody for 14 hours.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So then I did my homework. Fast forward, there was this growing company back in the early 90s called Walgreens.
Never heard of him.
Exactly. But back then they had like 1,200 stores, and that was just starting to blossom, and in Florida it was taking off. And so I just did my homework, and I saw there was an opportunity down in Florida. So I packed my old Celica, had my stereo and clothes. That's all I owned.
Back then it was a
Yeah.
Celica.
I
That's
swear to
pretty-
God, that was it. And just drove down I-95, boom, and found myself in Jupiter, Florida, stayed at a friend's condo, got to save some more money. And here's where the blessing started. Oh, well, I shouldn't say started, but this is where the blessing continued, because earlier to that, I met my mentor, Ron, who was my neighbor at the time, who suggested pharmacy school. And that's why I went to pharmacy school.
Okay.
I had every intention of taking over my dad's auto body shop, and he's like, I didn't come from another country for that to happen. And anyway, that went back and forth, and Ron changed my life because he gave me a different perspective on just growth.
Wow, man.
So anyway, fast forward, pharmacy school, Florida, and then I lo and behold, I meet another guy. He's maybe 5'4" fellow from Greece, Art and Agostino, who Christina knows quite well, with his wife Sherry, and he just took me under his wing. We hit it off.
Where'd you guys meet at?
West Palm Beach.
Just
I interviewed.
like-
No, I interviewed
was
with
another
him.
job. Okay.
Yep, interviewed
Okay.
for him. He was with Walgreens, a district manager for Walgreens. At the time, he had 19 stores he was managing in the West Palm Beach area, and we just he was fantastic. He taught me so much, and anyway, he hired me just to get the lay of the land. I worked as a pharmacist not too long, and at the time during this period, met Christina. We started dating. Fast forward, we get married. I take on more of a supervisory position and start really learning the mechanics and the business of running a retail store.
Okay.
And help build with Art. We went from 19 stores at the end, I think, in 20. Let me think of the time frame here. 2008. I'm trying to think around. No, what am I thinking here? No, was it 2000? I'm trying to think. What's the date here? Help me out here. 2001. Thank you.
Got it.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. My wife's in the background here.
That's
Just
hey,
warning.
man. That's
So-
what the show's
so-
all
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Man. You phone a friend.
She's
Phone a
awesome.
friend.
Thank you, Christina.
Lifeline.
So 2001, life just goes through so many different changes, and we, with 3 boys in tow, move up to the Chicago area.
Oh, so you had the 3 in Florida.
Yeah, 3 boys in Florida in the Jupiter area, and which was a wonderful time in our lives because Jupiter was a small town then, maybe 20,000 people. It was wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Versus if you've been
now. It's crazy. And so I get invited to take an executive position at Walgreens in Deerfield, Illinois, and so it was a. I still remember as a family we decided let's do it. It was stepping out of the comfort zone again. Let's go. And
Yeah.
poor Christina had never seen snow in her life. She saw snow for the first time, which is another funny story. And then we have child number 4, Bradley, and had that best job in the world there. And then in 2008, it hit me. Just hit me. I don't know how. Can't explain it. But I decided to leave Walgreens at the time when executives never leave Walgreens. And
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to go co-own and run my own business.
Wow.
And because I could see the writing on the wall. Things were changing at Walgreens, which is fine. That's how stuff goes. But it wasn't for me. But I saw this emergence happening within healthcare, this rise in medications that are just so darn effective but incredibly expensive. Nobody had a game plan on how to manage that.
Right.
There was just no understanding on how to do that. The flood of medications coming into the market fall into that category, and still yet nobody knew how to manage that.
The
So
cost of it or the actual delivery of that med to get it to patient?
Delivery, cost, and managing the patient, as well as navigating and knowing how to understand the practitioner portion of that market, because you have oncologists, rheumatologists, dermatologists. You have to just know
How to-
transplant. Yeah, it's so different in each practice. So to know how to navigate that and manage the patient that falls under their responsibility,
Yeah.
that's when you really start to hone in and develop a healthcare team, is when doctors are not used to having a pharmacist at their disposal constantly. And so that was something I saw as a missing gap.
Smart.
Anyway, so we
Smart.
find,
Yeah,
so I
dude,
find,
that's cool.
That's cool.
yeah, a family here in
Never knew the full
Omaha.
story.
Yeah.
Family here in Omaha, Kaplan family, awesome family. And they started a transplant pharmacy. They totally focused on post-transplant management of patients. As soon as you got your new lung, kidney, heart, you needed special management. And the whole goal of managing the patient was make sure they don't reject and go back in the hospital.
Sure.
That's a science in itself. And so, and I, anyway, invested and joined, and they were awesome. And it wasn't long. They said, we're in your way. Here are the keys, grow. And because it's what I did at Walgreens, it was totally my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Met some executives at Hy-Vee, and next thing I know, I was talking with Rick 2 CEOs ago. Rick Juergens, great guy, and he and I hit it off, and shook hands, and we did a 50-50 deal, and we started a company with Hy-Vee, and And it was a mirror image of Amber essentially, but I started as a different
Can
company.
you go a little bit,
Yeah.
talk about Amber a little bit?
So Amber at the time, still today, labeled a specialty pharmacy.
Okay.
When back then that wasn't even known. It was different. And why was it different? Because it focused only on certain conditions. So we were subject matter experts in post-organ transplant therapies.
Right.
Like the titration and dosing of these immunosuppressants post-surgery is very algorithmic and scientific.
Right.
And so, but we knew exactly how to do that. And there's so many other things associated with that are incredibly complex, but we knew how to do that.
And then the shops that you built too, the geographic strategy that.
Yeah, that came a little bit later.
Okay.
So we got our grounding. I joined, refreshed a lot, got higher forms of accreditation, figured out how to work with the pharmaceutical manufacturers, but then figured out how to work with the payer systems to where health plans and pharmacy benefit managers would only send patients to us.
Wow.
So, I mean, we just exploded. We went from 19 employees, and in 2014 when we sold to Hy-Vee eventually, we had 249 employees in multiple locations throughout the United States.
You just had the market literally, like all the strategy, like all the things we can't
incredible.
Get in. But the payers were, and the PBMs were just.
They were dying to work with subject matter experts in pharmacy who knew how to take care of a patient, but knew how to actually control a paycheck. Meaning, not paycheck, but a checkbook.
Yeah.
Like you don't over dispense on time. Sometimes do fractional dispensing. Like if someone's new to therapy, maybe you only dispense half of it. Make sure that they can adjust to
it can
attend.
work.
Some of the medications we were dispensing were 8, 9. Some were $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's that type of expense.
Yeah.
So just compound that by 12.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
In the waste. So you get Amber going. How many shops did you guys have? How many infusion shops y'all have?
Well, so when I was co-owner, we had 4.
Okay.
And then Hy-Vee acquired all of Amber and the remaining portion of the other company we started for them. And they invested in, and I stayed on board.
Right.
My partners retired, and we ended up, I think opening maybe 9 more locations.
Got it.
And then expanded with infusions, and it was a crazy time. It really was, because the market was all the market was saying was help.
Yeah.
Just help. And so, that was it. And then took a sabbatical in, when did I take the sabbatical? 2021-ish?
That sounds right.
Yeah, 2021. And just took some time off. Youngest went to college and figured, you know what, I think, I want to do something different. But during that 7 years at Hy-Vee, I built them 2 more companies, and they're thriving now, which is great to see. And then, but during that sabbatical, it was just a lot of golf and fishing with my youngest, and it was awesome. And then came across another opportunity that was a dormant company because of COVID. And it focused on international healthcare, so healthcare without borders, and really found it appealing and different and pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so said, you know what, I'm going to do it, and hit it off with the lead investor. And I invested and took over as CEO and completely changed the company because the market said it's time to change, especially after COVID.
Right.
And at the time, we started out with surgeries, orthopedic, bariatric plastics, executive health program, 2 JCO accredited, with JCO accreditation is a form of accreditation that all hospitals shoot for to bill any government-sponsored
And they weren't
program.
JCO certified when you showed up, or they will?
No, so there's 8 hospitals that have JCI accreditation, Joint Commission International.
Okay.
Now there's 9, and we are partners with 2 of them.
Wow.
So one in Cancun and one in Monterey, and they're gorgeous facilities. Yeah. It's stunning, actually.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that was just the dynamic change of getting back into the industry for specialty pharmacy, and so we created a model that allows us to acquire a medication that we dispense in the United States, specialty medication, and get it to the patient. Either they travel to get it in Mexico or Canada, or in Canada, we ship it. So they have choices. And then we also figured out how to crosswalk that experience into U.S. healthcare nomenclature. So what happens is today, right now, we're on our 10th client and growing, where we upload that data by way of API, and so the transaction flows into a healthcare platform. So essentially, we're like an in-network provider, but out of the country.
We figured that out.
And then, but it took 2 years. It wasn't easy, right?
I remember the first conversation,
Yeah.
some of the first combos.
Yes, and so no playbook. We just figured it out, and
It's awesome, man.
and we've just exploded, and saving employer groups, the self-insured employer group space, an incredible amount of money. It just still blows my mind. Even net of rebates, it's unbelievable.
Which, thank you, as the American employer, employing 10,000 people or 5,000 people or 300 people as a self-insured employer. It's your biggest cost, right? I mean, one of your biggest costs. I mean, you're definitely related to people management.
1,000%. As a matter of fact, payroll. You look at any expense line item for any company. Number one's payroll, always, always, always.
Yep.
And then typically number
Sub-bullet.
2 is health insurance.
Which is directly related to that number one line
That's
item.
all it is. And so when premium increases on the norm are double digits year over year, that's not affordable. That's not sustainable. And so you have to have a plan to do something different.
Right.
And so we insert ourselves as a vendor, strategic vendor, frankly, and there's the differentiator. And the crazy part is, because these are specialty medications that are so darn expensive, all it takes is, as an example, for we have one group, 5,000 lives covered under the benefit, and there are 4 patients that we're treating. Just those 4 patients alone saves the employer group $250,000 a year.
Dude, so
4 people.
It's beautiful,
That's it.
man.
That's
No disruption, easy peasy, same
Yeah.
medication, same box.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Yeah.
And so that's very gratifying when the CEO and CFO goes, "Are you kidding me?"
And that's to the bottom line. That
Right.
250 is
Immediately.
dropping straight. It's not like it's soft. That is
Nope.
going straight to the bottom.
It's a hard savings. It's all good. Yeah, it's incredible. One group we're working with has 50,000 lives, and they spend just on specialty alone is $50 million. Their overall consumption rate of drugs is 100 million. 50 million is specialty. That's the average. About 50% of your expenditure is in specialty meds. So 50%.
Yeah.
50 million.
That's half the pie
Easily. Oh, easily. The trend
with
right
specialty.
Let me give you a quick stat. So if you
Please.
look at the overall consumption of meds in our country today,
Okay.
every medication taken.
And that in the country does overlay to an employer pretty much. Like,
Oh,
it-
100%.
like,
It's exactly.
it's identical.
It's linear.
Yeah.
Out of the overall pie of medications consumed, 5% of the patient population, 5% costs about 55% of the drug costs. That 5% is the specialty pharmacy utilizers. Now, we're starting to include the Ozempics and so forth, which is not really specialty. We call it
Right.
specialty light, but
Right.
if you include those, it's now upwards of almost 7% utilization because
Yeah.
there's so many people using it.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you go to the core, especially, it's 5%. And so back to that one group at the 50 million mark, I mean, if 100% of those patients use my company, which we don't expect that, but if it saves them 15.6 million to the bottom line.
on
And
the
so
on that 50,000,
50 million. Out of the 50 million drug spend,
which customer is this? How many lives are they responsible?
55,000.
They're responsible for 55,000 out of that $50 million bucket that they have applied.
If they use
your
us-
solution 100% of the time.
Will save them 15.6 million bucks year one. Yeah. That's the
Hiring
disparity
more
in
people,
Yeah.
innovation, anybody who's been an
Oh, it's-
operator,
yeah.
man, like or finance is like,
unbelievable.
employee growth programs. I mean,
just all the things that as a company you're getting squeezed on. And I dropped my head when I said the 5% was 50%, but the thing that like educate people a little bit, these medications, like if these folks don't get them for, I mean,
Yeah. It
multiple sclerosis,
everything.
osteoporosis,
I mean,
rheumatoid.
yeah, in my lifetime, Nick knows this, but like I never thought I would hear maintenance medications for oncology patients. Like, so there's maintenance medications you take to keep the cancer in remission at bay,
Yeah.
and you're living a great life. Now,
For years.
for years, 10 years ago, that's like we barely talked about that because it wasn't really readily available, but now it's very common.
And that's considered specialty. Even though it's
Yeah.
maintenance, it's still in the cancer realm.
It's
so then
not cheap. It's expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So here's the good news. I tell people this is that the manufacturers are really creating incredible medications.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now they're so laser focused on minimal side effects, high either remission, cure, sustaining of life, where in the past this just would never happen.
Right.
And now the reality is that when you have a drug that's so focused, hyper focused on a particular therapy or condition, what that inevitably does is it creates the basket of patients to be smaller.
Okay.
So, okay, in other words, think of it this way, like Lipitor, when cholesterol medication came out, it covered a wide spectrum of HDL, LDL, like it covered like 100 million people overnight.
Right.
These medications are so specific down sometimes to the genetic profile of an individual that the bucket becomes a lot smaller people. But now the downside to that is the R&D to create is easily in the billions.
Right.
And so, hey, the manufacturers have to make it up.
Yep.
So the cost per prescription is so much more expensive.
Right.
So like it is now becoming more common to hear of one patient based upon their disease state costing upwards of 2.8, 3.2 million a year just on a drug. So the good news is that highly effective. The bad news is it's terribly expensive. So we have to think of different ways to put our arms around affordability and access. And so what did I do? I came up with this program to tackle that. It's safe, it's affordable, the access is great, there's no disruption, and it's real time. It could happen like that, and the savings are immediate.
So I think we all agree that spending, because these are life-saving medications. I think anybody watching the show, like, let's save the life. Is our system broken? Or, and this is hard because I want to be precise. I don't want to be vague with this question, but like, why can't, because you figured out this international solution to take care of that patient, and it's beautiful. That patient, like we were talking in the early stages of this, that patient maybe never gets that med if you don't exist.
Fact.
Right.
We have that now.
Right.
Yeah.
So from what you can say or what you're willing to say, like, why can't we have a domestic solution to this?
That's a big question.
I know.
No. It's a good question.
asking
No. I'll tell you, it just happens so much where when I present a cost savings to an employer group, this is consistent. And I'm going to answer your question in a minute. But this is consistent, which is number one, the reaction is, are you kidding me? Number one, always, right? We're like, yes, this is true. And then the second question, 100% of the time is, Mike, why are things so broken? Well, it's the same question you asked, right? And so it's a big answer. I'll try to summarize it. So within the United States, we government included, have allowed for free enterprise. The market will take care of this, has essentially been the mindset, right? Mm. And so when you think about healthcare in other countries, and all tier one countries too, by the way. So tier one would be a country that has healthcare standards equal, if not better, than the United States. Okay. That's where we call it tier one.
Okay.
And so there's Canada, there's the UK, there's Australia, there's New Zealand, there's Scotland. Are
we talking like 10 internationally?
It's about
a dozen maybe?
No, it's probably like 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
roughly.
Okay.
Japan.
Okay.
The government has actually stepped in and they have handled all the negotiations. So the government says to, and not to call out just manufacturers, but this is just an example.
Yeah.
Where the government will essentially say, this is what we'll pay for the drug, right? Versus here in the United States, there's so many different layers attached to the reimbursement of the drug.
Yeah.
Hospital 340B, Medicaid, Medicare. There's so many things that are forcing a manufacturer to raise their prices to make up the difference of a loss.
Right.
So that's
primarily on L&D. or R&D?
R&D.
Primarily?
Well, primarily on just covering their costs, right? Because you're talking about selling your drug as a manufacturer, but you're going to get reimbursed in certain sectors of healthcare within the United States, probably at cost, if not maybe an inch above that. So the manufacturer's like, we got to make it up somewhere else, right?
Yep.
So there's commercial, there's private insurance.
Got it.
So yeah, so that's just the drug side, right? And then you do have a hospital system that, you know, is starting to get a lot more attention on what they charge versus how they, you know, try to pull you in from an acute care model and want you to stay long term and get an MRI. And, you know, there's a lot of factors.
A lot more spotlight on that.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of concern too for transparency or lack thereof. And so it's like, where's the money going? And so, you know, now you've got and I'm talking just pharmacies, our drug side, where now you have more of government get involved to try to promote transparency at the state level. Each state has been incredibly aggressive to try to make change because we're losing pharmacies left and right due to low reimbursement. And now the federal government is stepping in January 26th, there's going to be new regulatory mandate at the federal level to promote and push transparency. In other words, where's your dollar going?
Right.
So there's so much to answer
I
there.
knew that
but
I felt bad asking you.
No, it's okay. I get it all the time.
But, you know, what I've heard throughout your entire career path is that opportunity, right? You see opportunities and you attack, right?
Yeah.
And you also, I'm sure at times, like life being an executive of Walgreens is probably pretty good. And you didn't have much to worry about, you know, and you took risk, right?
Yeah.
But you also, you saw opportunities that I think for all of us, it's a good lesson inside of work, outside of work, that there's something there, lean in on it, right? Go for it.
Yeah, go for it and try to make a change.
I mean, from where I'm sitting,
Yeah.
you know, and what I've seen over the years, and this is what I've taken the page from your book and added it to mine. It's the servant piece. When you would talk to me and I'm sitting post-transplant and you tell me, Nick, I know transplant meds. If you ever get a hiccup, call me. It's that servant piece. It's you're seeing where there's fault, right? You're not like, we're going to solve every problem, but we're going to improve on it. We're going to make it better, right? Even if it's just a little better, it's better than it was. And that's the goal, incremental. And then look where you're at 3 decades later. It's just completely transformed.
So go into that being, right, like go into that being a servant leader, you know, how is that just, is it just natural to you? Did you make an effort? Did you have some wins that then, you know, I think it goes back to why you've had Christina asking you, is this the last business? There's and obviously you're very skilled at it, but it wasn't in a textbook.
No,
I mean, and by the way, all the years I've known you, this is the first time you've spoken on it. Like, you're not ego-driven. Your passion is family, friends, relationships, because you know that's what makes a good life.
Yeah. 100%.
And this is just such a privilege to hear.
Yeah.
Because all the years I've known, I mean, you don't get this side of Mike. You
No.
don't get to see behind the curtain.
No, you don't.
And it's
You don't.
So let's
It's
do
not even
it.
a
Let's do
surprise.
it. So that's a great. No one's ever asked me that, so that's awesome. So I think it was just incremental wins that gave me greater confidence in a certain style of management that felt very effective, but also really rewarding. Right. So that's a really tough combination to say, okay, this is working. I would probably say it really started to hone in on it when I was managing, oh my God, I was managing so many people down at Walgreens in Florida, so many different personalities, you know, shortage of staff, shortage of pharmacists, and how do you get people on your side to help out and keep these stores open? And how do you recruit? How do you hire? And it's just
What was the count? What was that count?
oh
What'd you
gosh, I don't even 800 something. It was a lot of people. By the time we left, I mean, it was a lot. It's incredible.
Well, and I'm hearing from him too.
Yeah,
This
it's a lot.
wasn't arm's length. you're in it
No.
with
Yeah,
them. Like you're
100%,
visiting
yeah,
pharmacies,
yeah.
hearing,
Yeah.
I'm working 18 hours a day.
Or sometimes I drove to cover Christina knows, I would drive to like,
wow.
yeah, and just open up a pharmacy that was 2 hours away because I couldn't find any help.
You're unlocking the door and pulling the gate up.
Putting on a white apron. Yep, my name's Mike. Can I help you? I mean, because that's what you got to do to get it done, right? And so I think just over time, and, and then you realize that, I don't know. It's also, in my opinion, it's a good recruiting tool because who wants to work for somebody that just hammers you and micromanages you and doesn't give you any freedom to use your own head?
Yep.
And give someone just the bandwidth to say, go. Give them guidance. Don't get me wrong. We're not just feeding them to the wolves, but be a rudder and let folks make mistakes and let them learn from it. And then you start to realize that their confidence begins to grow. And honestly, as a CEO or president, your job becomes a little bit easier because now you've got confident folks that are like, I got this. We're good. Figured it out. No big deal. And so that was just part of the sauce, I guess. Right. And I haven't gone away from that. I just haven't. So, yeah, I mean, that's the best answer I got. And maybe we'll end it this way. No, I shouldn't say end it, but I mean,
we're not going anywhere.
The journey.
Yeah.
So I would say the journey came to a really big recap for me. It was October of 22. Yeah, I was asked to be a keynote speaker at a healthcare conference, and they said, "Well, I asked, I said, well, what do you want me to talk about?" Right? And I was honored to be asked as a keynote. I'd never been the guy for the conference.
You're very humble.
So this is your first keynote.
As a keynote, right? I mean, I've spoken at conference a lot. Christina knows that. She's like, don't give this guy a microphone.
The one. Like the music's going.
Yeah,
the conference.
this is like, and my head's everywhere. Yeah, pictures everywhere. Like, this is crazy.
It was a good picture. You're a good looking guy.
It's
you're
tough.
fine. You're fine.
I definitely
look nervous, man. A big conference, and they throw up one that you didn't approve, but
yeah,
that's good.
I appreciate that.
I remember the call right before you were going into it.
Yeah, it's like, so they're
like,
they
called you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. And so I was like, they want me to talk about like my career and how do I manage people and talk about servant leadership. I'm like, and right away I'm like, because it's typically me. I'm like, yeah, no problem, right? So I say yes, right? But then Christina, I think, remembers this too. It's like maybe 2 weeks before the conference, I still had nothing inked. I didn't know idea what I was going to talk about. And I really struggle with this. I'm like, this is scary. It's like opening up the kimono to the industry I grew up in and tell them how I conducted myself and work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, if I'm going to do it, man, rip the Band-Aid off. And I just wrote it all out and I just gave the talk. And it felt like a bit of a TED talk, right? And it was just about leadership, and I think Nick got to watch the video. And
I got lines that I remember from it that have stuck with me,
which is impressive. Thank you. But yeah, that was like the moment I was like, okay, let's do this. And I even told the audience when I started talking, I go, this is stepping out of my comfort zone, folks.
There it is.
This is it.
There it is.
It's that relatable piece of Augie. And the one line that you said that stuck with me was, if your idea isn't new, don't bother.
Don't even do it.
Don't bother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you've seen the latest ventures, and I'm like, we got to approach this completely different.
Yeah.
The idea isn't new, but your approach can be new.
Don't be a me too.
Yeah.
Just don't. I mean, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's already there. So yeah, that's amazing. You remember that. I forgot about that. Yeah. So, but anyway, I thought I'd share that was cathartic, therapeutic, scary, fun.
Yeah.
And then, it's crazy. Like, I never thought I'd do that because normally I'm giving a talk about trend or best practices or something that's, concrete and linear and measurable. And, this is just talking about effort, hard work, feelings, all the stuff you're like, we're not comfortable
real
doing
piece
that.
of it.
Yeah. So
The real unfiltered piece of it.
It is, man. And like, that's the part that people are like, that's gooey and that's not right. It's not, what do you want to say? It's not tangible. It's this, opaque thing. And you know what? That is the sauce.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why you just talked about it. Like going outside your comfort zone, being amazing with people. What do you think your strengths are that make you a great people leader, but also like what are the talents you think you have that make you just anybody that knows you? I mean, dude, you just want to be around Mike Agostino.
Well, I could tell you right away.
Like,
My
what's
instant reaction is, honestly, if you're cleaning a bathroom or you're CEO, you're getting treated the same. I really, it's just how it is.
Preach, man.
Shake hands, say hello, give a damn about the person.
The art of gratitude.
Listen. Don't do all the talking.
There's a human being right there.
Yeah,
like that's
100%.
a human.
Yeah, it could be a dad, grandfather,
Yeah.
grandmother, whatever. I mean,
Who knows what they've been through?
exactly. You think you had a bad day? Someone else had a really bad day.
So treating people equally, you would say.
100%. That has to be it. That's the biggest thing for me. It really is, because once somebody feels like you actually give a bleep about me, then guess what? I mean, they're going to want to talk to you or work for you, or
Yeah.
I don't know, down the road, maybe it'll pay off for them or me or whatever. I don't know. It's just one of those interactions and moments where, maybe I could say this or not, but don't be an ass. Just don't be an ass.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Yes. Yes. The golden rule.
Yeah, just be nice.
I think too, some people, you have to learn that. The world, a lot of times, sometimes in parenting too, you're the most important thing. It's all about you. And then all of a sudden you look around when you get older and it's just you.
Oh, but
why do you think it's just you?
Chris, I'll tell you this. I purposely pushed myself away from people who only care about themselves and are selfish. I cannot handle that.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a place for it. And if there is a place, go be alone. I mean, it's just
well, and
for me.
that's the thing, Mike. If you're in your circle, there's a lot of, and I'm gonna be like, that's a big circle. Like you let a lot of people into that circle, right? And if you're inside that circle, call you, and it's like, this is what I got going on. Like you're gonna help, and there are multiple people inside of that, and so that person that loses that opportunity to get inside that circle, the opportunity loss is massive.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the Mike Agostino example, but you think about the larger scale of community that if you exclude yourself from that because you care so much more about yourself than you do about just being a kind person, a good person, the amount of opportunity that you're leaving on the table because
Well, Chris, case in point, you and I teamed up together to get him out of the hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, that was right.
One of the most, still to this day, talking with the case manager to this day, first time ever done. Her, a testament to what you're talking about, waste, right? Accountability, being stuck in the hospital 14 days beyond what I needed to be, wanting to get home to my family. That's where I needed to be, all those critical pieces. And it wasn't just, I didn't just raise the flag, I need help. You had told me a month, because I was in the hospital for almost 2 months. You told me weeks ahead, if you ever find yourself in a tough spot, call me. And it was like that moment in my head, like I'm in that tough spot. And I called you. And immediately you're like, say no more. Jack McKeegan, I hear his voice. That guy gets shit done. Calls Chris.
It's case in point.
Case manager calls my room and goes, I don't know who you know, but you have incredible friends that really care about you and your family. And this does not happen. This has never happened. Getting a one-time contract to get you the care you needed out of network to get you home. And boom, I was home. And I got better. And it was under the team that I got better. And I got to a point where they were talking palliative care. I was not going to get better. This was going to take my life. I was not going to get better. It was just pushing the time. 4 months later, now I'm getting ready for surgery to heal this. I'm at a point where they can actually do surgery. I'm healthy enough. That was hard. And then, facing 3 months in the hospital, getting through surgeries, 6 surgeries, bleeding out, calling it close again. My poor wife, calling her so many times to give her my goodbyes via phone because I didn't think she'd make it in time to the hospital. but knowing all the good people that had my back there
Got
pushing
a
me,
lot of them.
and
Yep.
and here we are today. Is how beautiful
Oh,
this
the
is.
circle, man.
Bringing me Gatorades, bringing me coffee, Christina. I mean, you know, I'm so grateful,
Wow.
and
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I mean, God bless you. I mean, I still remember that when we said we said our goodbyes for that one visit. I knew I'd see you again, but both
so
Christina and I looked at each other like, oh my God, we were worried. We were just worried. And then we press the elevator button, the door opens up, and it's Rachel and the 3 kids, and it's chaos, right? Yeah. It's like, all right, saying hello, high fives, hugs. Yeah. Let's go see daddy. And then as soon as, we said our goodbyes and they went to see you and went down the elevator, I was like, we gotta do something, man. This is BS. I mean, this is a typical hospital issue of in-network, out-of-network. It boils down to a contract. And what does it boil down to? Reimbursement. Who's going to pay for what? I mean, it's your typical tragedy that happens within our healthcare system that so many people have to go through. And I was just blessed to say, I was racking my brain. I'm like, Cole Omens. Oh my God. Yeah, of course. He's an infusion there, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, we were able to create some attention to say, let's get Nick out of there.
And for our listeners, I was a well-known patient at the med center at this time with almost a decade of critical care. This wasn't like I was just a guy off the street they didn't know. No,
right.
They knew me.
With insurance.
With insurance.
It wasn't like you weren't insured.
Yeah,
right.
Very, very good insurance. I was just a case that was so difficult, and they could say no, as sad as that is, and they did. In-network was like, no. So, and that leads to patient advocacy and sharing with patients. You're pushing that ball forward. Yep. Sharing with my experience, because it was all of it. I don't think there was a piece of patient care I didn't experience. Sharing that and pushing that forward, and hopefully, again, just like you educate me, you educate Chris, we educate each other. It's pushing that forward.
So number 1 is don't be an ass.
Yeah.
Got it.
Don't be.
Give me one more.
For
why you are the way you are related to servant leadership and giving yourself, giving your talents, treasures to what's number 2, man?
I would say also in the companies that I've cultivated and grown, I always needed leadership to help me run the companies, right? So I would say part of it is succession planning, which I take a lot of pride in that. In anything I've done, which means whether it's chairing boards or companies.
You're always thinking about 100%. What after me?
Well, not only what after me, but who's the person to sit in this particular seat of the bus, right? And it's like, and it's just making sure you've got the right people in the right seat of the bus. I mean, because at the end of the day, if I put somebody in a position where it's just not their passion, they're going to be miserable and they're not going to last. They're just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So if I find the best seat possible for that particular employee, then the cool part is then the cylinders, you can see them start to move as they're supposed to. Whether it be whatever metric you're looking at, if it's customer service or your financials or your KPIs, whatever it is, it's all going to go in the right direction when you have the right team in place. And so for me, I would say getting, succession planning balanced by getting people in the right seat of the bus, I think to me that's the magic, because if you have that, then it's amazing what you can actually do. It really is.
So that's good stuff. And you see these companies that put just the most brilliant on paper leaders, right? You can watch CNBC anytime, and it's like X company letting this CEO go, and the previous CEO is coming in to get the water off the boat and to get the boat back on its track. And more times than not, what I hear is the loss of the vision and the people on the boat and the people on the bus, right? That they don't believe in where we're going. right? And then they're the right people in the right chairs, to your point.
Yeah.
But I think what I see in you, Mike, is that you actually give a rip about
sure, yeah.
other,
Yeah.
and you actually care about that person, and you take the time to analyze that person, and it might be somebody that doesn't agree. Like you emphasize and you welcome being creative and challenging you, right? Like some of the stuff that the door is open, right? It's not like I need this fixed and this is the way you're going to do it. Is you're open to that creativity and letting people, bring their ideas to table, and that ultimately can make you better, make the company better.
Yeah. Oh, that's well said, Chris. I mean, every leadership huddle that I've hosted or managed or whatever, it's that open forum of, speak up and don't get upset if it's not going to work. Right. But keep speaking up. I mean, not every idea is great.
Yeah.
Not every thought on how to run something is great, but you collectively learn from others that want to give their input. And, I've worked for bosses before that have been more dictator-like, and it was their way or the highway. And if you didn't really align yourself with their way of thinking, then, get off the ship or get off the bus, right? And I have, because I can't deal with that. So
how did those companies, or how did those sectors of that company do under that leadership?
I would say fair.
Okay.
Because during some of those experiences, I've seen this unfortunate level of, I call it a bit of a level of toxicity, and that toxicity is not healthy to anybody. I don't care who you are. And, but there are some people that fall right in line with giving up the freedom of giving their input and thought and just falling in line. But there's people like that.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some leaders that look for people like that.
We've talked.
And I'm never going to look for people like that.
Yep.
I think that's crazy.
Yep.
That's not how you even live a life. I mean, that's not living. It's like being a robot. So,
keep going.
No, go ahead.
I think American industry, I've had some really good conversations with mentors, and we haven't seen each other as much lately. But these are things that I've asked you in the past, but I think I'm seeing more and more of American industry go that way, where it's big box, rank and file. This is the way we do it. Not a whole lot of heart and soul, and entrepreneurial, lism and entrepreneurial spirit, and doing something different against the grain, finding that opportunity. And to your point, like we've talked about this before, there's a sector of employees that it's safe and we're going to do that. But I just love this country was built on creating and innovating and taking risks.
Yeah. 100% agree. I mean, I'm not going to change. That's just how it is. Right.
And it's worked.
Yeah. I've been blessed. I really have. I mean, look, I've had failures in my life. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, but you learn from it and you move on. And frankly, for the company I have now, there was a point I told Christina, I think I'm going to have to pull the plug because 2.5 years of investing and not seeing growth and trying to hold payroll and those are scary times. And, you say to yourself, is this really going to be worth it?
Yeah.
But I'm glad I, held my head up high and stayed focused and brought the opportunity home. And now we're seeing some really just beautiful growth right now. And now I'm hiring more people. It's awesome.
Good for you, brother.
Yeah. So we'll just keep the momentum going. Right.
I mean, just nurturing morale.
Yeah.
Like I always think, like any new venture, relationships over profit. Because if you have the relationships, you have the good morale, people are willing to go that length for you no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you cultivate that, I think the limit's whatever you want it to be. But I mean, just you mastered it and continue to master it. And it's remarkable to see.
Appreciate
where
it.
I'm at.
Thanks, Nick.
And how
Thank you.
relatable is that in personal relationships too, right?
Yeah.
If you invest and invest and invest in a friendship or in a relationship, and you've tried to turn the dial, you've tried to change things up, unplug, right? Like you're seeing folks in toxic relationships. I think it's so relatable, Mike. Like your amazing, emotional intelligence, what it's done for you in business. You also mentioned there's people that we all have to have the awareness. Go.
So one thing I enjoy doing almost on a weekly basis, if I can, if I see two individuals that don't know each other, and I'll ask, hey, do you know so-and-so? And they're like, no, I know of them, but I don't know them. I've never been properly introduced. And I immediately go, I want to introduce you because you guys share qualities that it would almost be criminal for you not to meet, because I think you guys deserve that. And I'm really curious to just see what happens. And you instilled that in me because you are just a master of introducing people and connecting people to see, let's see what comes from it. What creativity, what would happen if they didn't? And the worst is that they never meet. But let's see what happens when they do, because you see certain qualities of an individual and you're like, they need to meet.
Sure.
And I just did that just over the weekend.
You're doing like that flip with you has gone.
I love it.
You are connecting and connecting and connecting. It's beautiful,
It's
man.
the most beautiful thing is seeing a relationship created right from that spot.
Well, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, we introduced you to our son Brennan, and look what you two are doing. I
Exactly.
mean, it's unbelievable. The guys with Robert in the background here. I mean, just to put together this car show and raise, just trying your first time, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Who's ever done something that big before? And you and I, we didn't know if 5 people will show up or 10,000. We had no idea.
Up to the day.
No clue.
And then it rained all day.
It rained all day, yeah. It's like
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Which event was that? So
Cars and
maybe
Cure.
somebody
sorry.
listening-
Cures, yeah.
Somebody listening might. Well, and what's cool too is we've talked about the impact of connecting, inviting people in that they need to be like what I've seen, which people might not know your son Brennan on that, on the show. His transformation.
Yeah.
I'm not his dad. I'm not his mom. But what I've seen,
He might be your next guest because we've
already talked about it.
he's 24, but he's been through a lifetime of stuff already, and we're very proud of him because he acknowledges what he's done in his past is not what's going to sustain him in his future, but Christine and I would hammer that to him, but eventually he comes out and says, Mom, Dad, I get it. And here's the best part is watching as an example, right? So, your rewards are come in many shapes and forms. And one of them for me is when he said, Dad, you're right. Things have really changed for me once I started to surround myself with good people like Nick, Robert, just others that have given him just positive perspective.
He stopped and said that to Dad.
Yes. And that's when I was like, you did it. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Because as soon as you find somebody who doesn't have, is only their best interest, and just like what we just talked about, stay away from them. Yeah. Christina and I have made some tough decisions, but then again, it's not so tough where, we would associate ourselves with certain folks in the community, but we realized maybe it's not the best choice. And so we've made changes, right?
Yeah.
Which is just keep surrounding ourselves with great people.
And you still obviously again, never be an ass. I'm still
Right.
gonna be friendly.
Right.
But it's the extra time, right? I'm still gonna be friendly and I'm still gonna respond. But we've talked about that, Mike. The asset of time that you gotta really be protective of that time, right? Yeah. But Brennan, talk about transformation, man. And again, what did he read? Get a self-help book? Did he read no? He put the right people around him that believed in him, but also told him straight. Yeah. So we have hammered on that. The whole last episode was about fellowship, right? Yeah. That when you get those right people around you, you are going to see yourself going up and to the right. He's case in point.
Yeah.
I knew him as when he was in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And, say hi, but now I barely get a word in because he just wants to go. And it's beautiful. And a lot of that's just self-belief around him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It is really beautiful because we have decades gap between us, right? But you would never know, right? The way we talk and the way we plan, the way we envision and execute all the things. It was really neat because it was a common goal, and we never did this before. And we went on each other's strengths and we trusted each other that, hey, this is your call. I know you're going to be awesome at that, and just pushing that ball forward and to a goal. It wasn't like next week, months and months. I'd never done it before, and a lot of doubt, and it's even like, again, him stepping out of his comfort zone. I mean, he could sit in front of a camera and be like a ghost, right? Like a deer in headlights, and like, yeah, I can't do this. You get him walking and talking, and it's so natural and so cool. I got to see it firsthand, the transition between talking to the reporter sitting down at the bar to walking and sharing like the whole place that we're going to have the event.
Yeah.
And it was just night and day, and it was just that comfort.
But you were a big part of that, so I thank you for it too. I mean, we all love you, but he loves you. He's like, Nick is just one of the best things that have ever happened to me. And he just loves the camaraderie and just the fact that he could call you and just, shoot the what, and or just bounce something off. And, you give him the Nick perspective, because perspective from mom and dad's very different than somebody else's. So, so I really appreciate that.
But to credit to him, he listens.
Yeah. Fact.
And that's, as you've experienced over your time, it's someone has to be receptive. They have to be wanting to listen and take your advice. They can't be thick-headed.
Right.
They can't be stubborn, right? I mean, stubborn is good because it may be a little bit, right? Like perseverance and getting you that focus and not letting anything knock you down. But at the same time, it can be crippling.
I love the part you said, though, too, about the age thing, because I think we leave so many great relationships and opportunities because we put walls up.
You don't get me. You don't get my generation.
You're
right?
too young. You're
talking with Robert and Brennan at the event, and they're like, early 2000s. Like,
but and also on their side, too, like, what do I want with somebody that's like in their 40s and they just left opportunity on the table? Think about that. Like, we don't talk to somebody because they're not in the same socioeconomic class. They don't live in our neighborhood. They have a different orientation than we do. And how many opportunities, man, do we leave on the table to meet somebody new and amazing that could do whatever in our lives because they don't match up perfect? I think it's really cool because you guys are separated by what, 15 years?
Oh, 20, I think, right?
It was 24.
Yeah, it's almost.
You're not 45. I'm 45.
So, you guys got 20.
You
but
don't round up.
It fails at 16 years.
Stay young, brother. Stay young.
It's still wild, but, I mean, he's coming to his own. And I remember him at our second Concourse de Elegance and coming up and talking to me about being a firefighter.
That's right.
And sharing, like, the
That's
path.
when it started. That's right.
Yeah. And it was, but I was taken back that someone even wanted to listen to me and take advice. And I mean, I think you could probably remember the first time someone asked for your advice on guidance, and it's you're taken back. You're like, wow, what an honor
Set you back.
for you to choose me to give you advice.
Yeah, and take it seriously too, because you could alter their trajectory. I mean, really. Right?
And that's what means the most,
yeah,
right? Like those
absolutely.
Are all the wins that you've had, right? And in being an amazing, husband and father. But when your kid comes up and, that's an example of your kid saying you were right.
It was awesome.
Or then that random person from 30 years ago is like, Mike, that thing gave me a trajectory in life that I have this amazing life now. Thank you. Dude, and that's what people talk about. Anthony Ewing, who we had on last week, his grandfather had an amazing run in business and personally. On his deathbed, all he talked about was the impact that he had and how proud he was of his kids or of these friends. It was all humanistic. None of it was stuff. None of it.
Yeah.
That's what we're all going to talk
That's great.
about.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Just
kind of the way
but grab it.
should
Just grab
be.
it.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Own that piece. So, anyways.
Yeah. Well, Mike, absolute honor. And
No, it was
thank you for
mine.
the
Thank
time.
you. Thanks for allowing me to
As
be
our
on
listeners can
Title
hear.
Track 12. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. It's it really is surreal to and again, it all came from connection, right? It all came from connection and doing something that we had zero experience in, didn't know what we were doing, to now full circle be sitting with our mentor.
Appreciate
and
that. Thank you.
A person that helped make this show happen too, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah.
The opportunity was here. The real estate was available. Well, let's use it.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
So,
Dude, we appreciate you.
Right back at you.
You want to close us out?
No, I want you to close us out this
What?
time. Yeah.
So I am wearing a hat and I'm wearing a t-shirt because we had so many compliments on how good Nick looked with his backwards hat and so vogue that I decided to dress down today.
Yeah.
So I had to get that in the show. I tried the backwards
It was
hat.
a risk.
I don't think I can pull the backwards
You
hat
know,
off.
you don't get to choose whether the hat goes backwards or forward. The hat actually decides that. So you don't get to decide. This hat doesn't fit right forward, so I turned it backwards. I'm like, wow,
I thought that
this
was-
fits perfect.
Dude, it's 3 shows in a row that you rocked it. You look really good.
I'm sorry I missed the cap memo. I would have hammered it.
There was, and that's like, that's.
I'm not wearing a cap, and he's wearing a hat, and I'm like, I knew I could have worn a hat.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was
yeah. Well,
even-
you came into that one show, and I was like, okay, all right. And now after like hearing people like Nick looks really good with the backwards hat, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but I was like, I'm wearing a hat today. I'm gonna wear one. So, everybody listening, thank you for being on. Mike
Thank you.
Agostino,
Thank you.
Bless you, man. And in the true just mission and vision of this show, reach out to people, listen to people, care for people, and amazing things happen.
Yep, surround yourself with great people. You'll be fine.
Much love, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Love
Thanks,
you too.
everyone.
Thank you.
Everybody.
See you on the next show.
You bet.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Caring Gents. I hope what was discussed resonates with you or someone you know. Please, if there's someone in your life that, you know, what we discuss you think needs to hear, please share. Please like and subscribe. That helps us as this channel grows to really move everything forward. So thank you for your time listening in, and we look forward to sharing more with you next week. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.